There's one horse behind me that hasn't been ridden all summer, and I think he hasn't even been ridden since like March, but that's gonna change today. Can you guys guess who it is? Sorry, Stingray, it's not you this time. But it is you. Now that I think about it, I don't even know if you guys have met him officially, but this is Carbon. Sometimes Carbon doesn't like to be caught, so let's see. Ow! Oops. Don't bite me just because I have treats in my pocket. That's rude. Before I leave, I should probably fix your fly mask, dude. He wouldn't go with the gator, so now I have to walk uphill for like 20 acres. Those horses back there, that's where we started. And I am out of breath. And I'm probably halfway to the barn, but oh my God.
Wash all 4 of my horses with me as a horse girl that moved to her blank canvas horse property a week before a cyclone and ever since has been dealing with the wettest dry season of all time. I nearly didn't post this just because the production value is not what I would normally try to give you guys. But this is the reality. We have moved to a property that is our complete dream property, but it's going to take time to set everything up. And until then, we don't have tie-ups or any wash bays. So washing my horses looks like this. I decided to start with which ones I thought would be the messiest. And of course, that was my off-the-track thoroughbred Sly, who is a grey and the biggest grub of all time. As I was scrubbing his legs, it felt like I was getting absolutely nowhere. I looked down at my hand and it looked like I was trying to bake a cake. Now, the last month has been absolutely out of control. So in order to save one of the paddocks, which is the one they went into now, I decided to keep them in the same paddock all last month in the insane rain, meaning they were insanely muddy. So today's wash day was not only to get them looking pretty, but it was to get them feeling good so they could go into a new paddock, feeling fresh and ready to come back into work. And then that was the first horse done. And as you can see by my face, I was regretting all of my life decisions.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Frequently asked questions about my 42-year-old horse. I should have done this a while ago, but I'm getting to it now. First off, what's his name? Kiowa Chief. Chief for short. We also call him many other things like Snoutface, Chiefy McBeefy, the list goes on. Next one, how is he still alive? By not dying. Next one kind of ties into the last one on a more serious note. How long do horses normally live? 25 to 30 is the average depending on breed and care. However, it is not the max. Many have reached their 40s and even 50s, the oldest ever recorded being 62. Chief is half Oregon, half Arabian, both much longer living breeds than the average, so this is actually not as rare as you think. So the contributing factor to this thing existing for as long as he has are primarily breed and care. Next off, what are his teeth like? They are useless. He can no longer chew efficiently. Are you hanging your tongue out, you goober? You just refer to him as toothless at this point, even though he does technically have little nubs. He has little incisors and essentially no molars, but even those have little nubs. Essentially, he's long in the tooth. Next one also ties into the last one. How does he eat? He eats an all-mash diet of hay pellets and Renew Gold Senior. No medications, no supplements. The Renew Gold Senior is essentially every added nutrient that he needs on top of his forage base. I do have old, in-depth feed videos of his previous diet. It has since changed. I'll eventually get around to doing a new updated feed video. Lastly, where does he live? The mighty, majestic, glorious Northern California redwoods. I don't know if it has anything to do with his age, some whimsical Northern California fairy dust, I don't know. But I'd like to think that it does, because mental health is also very important. There are of course many more questions I could answer, so if you would like, I will do that. And there are a lot I have already answered in the past. They're on my profile and likely in his playlist, but that is the gist of this one.
She's good. She's a little peaky at some of the jumps. Is that normal for her? Oh no, she never looks at the jumps. She'll jump anything. Yeah, we're looking for a still learning amateur, so just has to be honest. She always jumps. Yeah, I like her. She just feels a little nervous. Could we come try her again tomorrow? Do you mind if I swap out the rails on one of these jumps? Oh, I guess so. Which one did you want to swap to? That bright yellow one over there. The yellow. Yeah, sure. Sure. that good? Yeah. I think we're done here. Thank you, though. Yeah. I'll take her.
I have the one and only 24 karat gold Labubu. Now, this is real 24 karat gold, made in the form of a Labubu. Now, he weighs 200 grams. It cost us £20,000 to have him made. They melted down basically gold bars and they put it into a shaper thing that was the shape of a Labubu. Obviously this little tassel here, that is just a gold bit of material, but the ring is also 24 karat gold. Now, the reason we had one made into 24 karat gold is because they are going so viral all over the internet. We think that his worth will definitely skyrocket. So here he is the golden one, he is the chosen one, and he is 24 karat gold.
Different. This is not an Equestrian pad, it is a normal cotton pad. And you'll see people out in this and think, do they not care about their horses? And then you see this. Look at that. That's an Equestrian half pad underneath. And
Equestrian TikTok is just the gift that never stops giving today. But not like Christmas gifts. It all feels like a bit of a trick or treat today because this is again another insane video. This could be one of the most inappropriate and tone-deaf marketing strategies I have ever seen. First of all, that is a thick ass pad. So if I have a professionally fitted saddle with my useless cotton saddle blanket under it, and then I shove that under, is it going to affect my saddle fit? I don't know. It's not my product. But I can probably guarantee that my professionally fitted saddle and my crappy cotton saddle blankets and my crappy sheepskin that I put under it is probably going to be pretty good for my horse. It's probably going to do the job. My horse is probably okay. And all that money that I spent on getting my saddle professionally fitted probably indicates that I do care about my horse. Like, why are all of these luxury brands going with the marketing strategy of being like, if you don't own our product, you suck. You're a horse abuser. Your horse hates you. You hate your horse. Like, who is running these campaigns? Truly, if this is how you decide to sell a product, all it's going to do is make your customers resent you because you are opening your relationship with your customers by basically saying that they are the worst people alive. Like, who is this video even targeting? People that watch it and go, oh my God, you're so right. I need your product. I'm so sorry. You're so right. I'm going to go apologize to my horse right now and I'm going to cancel that saddle fitting I had booked in for tomorrow because turns out he doesn't need a professionally fitted saddle blanket. I just have to throw away all of my saddle pads and then buy your product. Actually, no, I still need my crappy cotton saddle blankets because I've got to shove your product under it. This product feels a lot like when you start trying to do clean eating and instead of just getting rid of the crap, you start throwing in a whole lot of green juices and a whole lot of celery juices. Like, I feel like the problem if your horse isn't comfortable with the saddle isn't the fact it hasn't got your pad. I can't. This is actually insane. I have to go to bed. I can't do TikTok anymore today.
My new horse comes home today, and if you've been following me, you're probably wondering, didn't you just get a new horse 3 months ago? And the answer is yes, I did. Let's talk about it. If you guys remember, I got my very first horse back in May, Bojack. I will insert a photo of him. Very handsome. I love that man to death. However, horses are very large, dangerous animals, and it is very normal to get a horse and not necessarily click. And that's not good for the horse and it's not good for the human. Bojack is a performance horse that needed a much harder program than what I had him on, and so I actually ended up gifting him to one of my friends who rodeos on him all the time, and they are like a match made in heaven. But after searching for the last few months, my friend who I gave Bojack to actually helped me find this horse. He's a Palomino. He's 13 and he actually just got done working at a summer camp for kids, and not like a horse 4-H summer camp. This is like a summer camp for city kids in Newark who have never touched a horse in their entire life. So all that to say, he should be pretty good. I'm very excited to get to know him. I'm excited for you guys to meet him, and I have a really good feeling about him, so fingers crossed.
Hello there, how do you do?
Oh, it's
Salmonella Phoebe Bunty Whittington Smythe, in case you've forgotten. I'm back to look at your next horse. I've heard this one's a lovely chestnut mare.
No, it's actually a lovely grey.
Ah, yes, I see. A lovely Lipizzaner, bred for bullfighting in the depths of Australia, I've heard. I can't wait to get on. I've heard that he's been at the Spanish riding school in Venezuela.
Well, not...
Yes. Let's get on him, shall we? He looks positively raring to go.
Salmonello, what you doing?
Well, you see, when Fry trains me, we make running leaps at the horses. I figured out that's what was going wrong last time. I think it'll work quite well.
No, I suggest we use the mounting block for this one. He's a bit lively.
Well, you see, I am classically trained, but if you do insist, I suppose we'll do it your way.
We never did establish what you were classically trained in, though, did we?
Lively, you say? I fear this horse may be a tad docile for me. Up and over. 1, 2, 7. Ah, yes. And off we go. On an adventure. I have to say, this horse really is rather quiet and calm. I'm not sure how to feel. Whoa! Oh no! Oh dear! Where are we going? No! This horse is out of control! Oh dear! Oh my lord! Oh lord! This brute went strong!
Are you okay?
Am I okay? Tell me, you imbecile, what does it look like?
You
You brought me yet another bloody brute, wild, untamable stallion. I am leaving.
Oh, that's such a pity because, I mean, it looked, I say, I'm so sorry,
Not
customer.
happening.
The latest thing on the internet is that I'm not actually a horse trainer. So here is an imaginary client horse that I just finished working with. And as you can probably see, I am completely soaked. So the rest of my clients for the rest of the day have unfortunately been rained out. So instead, we're going to go to the tack shop. So come with me to the tack shop as an imaginary horse trainer. I look really rough today, and that's because I was up really early working imaginary client horses. I am so committed to this act of fooling you guys that I'm a real horse trainer. This is method acting. I was this close to buying one of those Western bridles. I don't know who I would have put it on. I don't know when I would have used it, but it was so cool. I do need a bridle for Sly, and I was like, but like, I plan to show jump him. So anyway, let's do a little haul. It's not a very exciting haul, but as a pretend horse trainer, I just need enough props that you guys will believe my lie. We started off with a bunch of halters because I have literally no halters. I have multiple horses. Once we have a few more paddocks set up, I'm going to be taking on imaginary client horses again on property instead of just doing off-property imaginary horses. So I just need a few essentials. I have all geldings at this point, so I don't know who's going to get the pink. 3 lead ropes. I got the closest colors that I could to matching those halters, even though it is so muddy at my house that everything's going to be brown within the first time I use it anyway. A new dressage whip, because when I went to work Sly the other day, I realized I have lost my other one and I need one to imaginary train horses. The biggest bottle of shampoo I've ever seen in my life, because I'm not the only one that likes to live an imaginary life. My grey horses also like to imagine that they are brown. So I bought some shampoo to try and get some reality back in their heads. That's my little imaginary horse train attack haul. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Come with me to get the lorry packed ready for Heritage Championship show. I've only got one pony going this week, so it's nice and easy, and of course it's the legend himself, Christopher. As I'm working a full day both Thursday and Friday, I thought tonight would be the best time to get everything packed. First up was rugs. My friend who's off to Hoys for the first time has been panic messaging me daily about what rugs to use. So here's what I'm packing for Christopher, knowing that he's freshly clipped with forecast rain and it's dropping to about 5 degrees. So we have a heavyweight turnout, a spare stable rug, fleece for layering, my trusty ride-on fleece rug that I've had for like 20 years, and yes, I really am that old, a rain sheet, show rug, my dry rug, and spare lycra bodysuit and hood, plus all the rugs that he's currently wearing. I know he won't need all of these, but it's good to have options, especially when you're 5 hours away from home. Then it was on to feeds. As it's only one pony, I make my life easy by measuring everything out into old supplement tubs. I also pop in his garlic, his Karma, and his joint supplements, so it's all ready to grab and go. I also fill one of the big tubs with dry mash, so I can just add water when we get there. As always, I've packed a little box with a few extra treats and other bits that I may or may not need. He's only got one class a day, and there's no way he'll want to go hand grazing in the rain, so this treat ball will keep him entertained. Though fair warning to my neighbours, Christopher doesn't do fun quietly. Next up was the grooming box. I've run out of so many things, and I'm literally scraping the bottom of each bottle, but I'm determined to use them up so I can justify a proper shopping spree at Hoys. All that's left is to get the hay nets done on Friday and attempt to tackle some tack cleaning, which is my least favourite job, before we go. And hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. Now be honest, what's the worst thing you've forgotten when going to a show? I'll put mine in the caption, and trust me, it's gonna make you laugh.
I'm going to talk about why it's important to turn your horse out so they can roll after you ride. Number one, rolling isn't just cute, it's also body work. When horses roll, they're actually stretching their back, hips, and shoulders. Number two, it's also like a mental reset. It gives them a second after a ride to just like and roll, right? Also, how they say she's walking up. Also, how they say walking after a workout is really good. That's kind of similar to turning out your horse, just letting them decompress and be a horse. Let it run, Lonnie, let it run!
Always another day, you don't have to hide away, yeah. You be a mother, so now it's time to run, it's time to run.
This is why it is so important to know your horse's habits and to check them multiple times a day. Yesterday at about 5 p.m, Luke noticed Winnie lying down, and I immediately ran outside because I know Winnie never lies down like this. And sure enough, when I went up to him trying to get him up, he did not want to get up. As soon as he got up, he immediately dropped back down, and that's when I knew he was colicking. So first thing we did was call the vet. The vet was an hour away, and the vet said just to keep him walking. I know some people don't believe in this anymore, but one thing about me, I will always follow my vet's advice.
I don't know if I'm going to post this. I'm hoping this is going to turn into a video about making sure you check your horses multiple times a day, know their habits. Winnie's currently colicking. It is 5 p.m. and the vet will be here in an hour, but I'm really scared.
At this point, we had completely run out of light, but Winnie was still walking and he had stopped trying to get down. So in my opinion, the walking was worth it. Then when the vet came out, we discovered he only had gut sounds on one side, but very luckily he did have a good heartbeat and he didn't have a high temperature. I was prepared to do whatever we needed to do, but we gave him IV fluids and then he got the all clear to go back in the paddock with Voluto. I separated him from the other horses and he went in the paddock that had no hay. Then we did another night check that night just to make sure everything was still okay and I didn't have to call the vet again. And even though waiting till the morning wasn't that far away, it was still such a relief to see him up, happy, and back to his normal self. Today's protocol was electrolytes 4 times a day, and we have upped his salt. These are the electrolytes from Sen Nutrition that now all of the horses are having daily. And this is Winnie nearly 24 hours later. Unfortunately, this didn't come as much of a shock to the vet. In the last 2 weeks, with the jump in temperature and also humidity, there have been a lot of horses struggling with dehydration colic. However, I am just so incredibly grateful that we know Winnie's habits really, really well, and we were able to catch this early enough that he didn't have to go in for surgery. Please, if you ever suspect that your horse has colic, this is an emergency and call your vet immediately. Don't just listen to tips on TikTok. Thank you again, everyone, for all of your love and support. It truly, truly means the world.